So my name is Faraj. I'm the vice captain of 2009. I started school at Sydney Tech in 2004. So as a student, I was the type of kid who had a lot of passions, a lot of interests that I wanted to pursue. And I was really interested in the SRC and the prefect body. I was the type of guy who really loved to organise things and be a part of, the school dance and the school events. And I always wanted to be a part of organising those things for my fellow students, because the way I saw it was, if I could help contribute to an event that my friends could enjoy, then that was something that was good. And so throughout the years since I finished school, I've been that type of guy who still organises stuff and is a part of that type of activity and has the initiative to get things done. My most important lesson since I've left school was probably to make the most of, I guess, the network that you will create throughout your degree. In the sense that networking unlocks a lot of doors. It's not so much about in terms of using it for an advantage, more than it's using it to meet people and to meet interesting people, to learn more about, I guess, the industry that you're interested in, and to learn more about where you can end up as a professional moving forward. So networking is definitely important. You can't go looking for it and expect to trade business cards and sort of make connections. It's about making meaningful connections with sort of everybody and anybody that you come in contact with throughout your degree. And by attending social events, by being proactive in the university societies. And that's something that I would love to give forward to other students, is to make the most of those connections. My favourite memory from school would have to be somewhere in Year 12. Actually, no, it is in Year 12, and Junior and I were both captains at this time. It was when there was a Year 9 kid who happened to lose his handball on top of the canteen. And rather than let the handball go and consign it to the gutter or to the rain, to the elements, he decided to walk into A block and go in through room 8, I think it was, through the window, onto the pergola, the roof of the canteen, which is about maybe 4.5 meters high. And then he walked carefully, tread along, got the ball, and then a teacher caught him walking past in the corridor. And she told him to get down. So rather than climb back into the window and like a normal person and back into the school corridor, he decided to jump off the roof. And unfortunately he got a bit injured, but he was okay. And I'm pretty sure he's fine now. But that's probably my funniest memory from school. My most stressful memory from school would have been towards the HSC. There's a lot of pressure on us as techies to do well. Our school's always ranked within the top 30 of HSC, of performing schools, and there's a lot of pressure on from your parents and from your peers to do really well. And so that pressure sort of gets to you, because you think that if I do all this study, if I do all this work and I don't get the marks that I'm meant to get, then what? What am I going to do? What's my backup? Because we're sort of taught that your ATAR or your HSC mark is the be-all, end-all, and that's going to dictate where you end up in life, which I think that myself and a few other guys from my year prove that theory wrong. Yes, it's important to do well, and we all as techies can do well, but it's more about, I guess, applying yourself to something that you're interested in. Your passion is going to dictate more of your success rather than your HSC mark. So the HSC was definitely the most stressful, I guess, moment of my time here at Tech. If I hadn't pursued consulting, which is what I'm doing now for next year, I probably would have ended up in law, which is what I studied. And I would have been, I guess, a lawyer in IP and IT, which is more to do with intellectual property and dealing with patents and trademarks and stuff like that. It all sounds really fun and interesting, but it's actually quite, I guess, bureaucratic in the sense that there's a lot of paperwork, and it's very tedious and monotonous. And so I'm quite thankful that I've gotten something a bit more adventurous and a bit more exciting in consulting. The most important lesson that I learned from Tech was, I guess, that you'll never ever meet people like the ones you've made friends with at school. It's been 6 years since I left Tech, and my best friends still are techies. I don't see them as often, I don't talk to them as much, which is a shame in its own right. And I've got other friends who I'm closer with that I've met through university, but the boys from Tech, whether I see them once a month or I speak to them once a year, those friendships are stronger than they've ever been before. And it's a Tech thing, and it can't be taught at other schools. It's not a school pride thing. It's just that we are instilled with this thing at Sydney Tech that makes us proud of where we've come from and proud of each other, and we look after each other, and that's something that I'm really, really proud of as a fellow techie. And that's about it.